Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below. It's got my social media. And it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. I have rarely ever watched the Majority Report up until I started watching reactions. And then that all of a sudden, because I watched a couple of reaction videos of them from the election, they've started popping up in my video. Well, this one kind of made me wonder what was going on with it. Said that it had a Muslim caller or something like that. I don't know who these morons are. The Muslim feller sounds kind of smart compared to what I've heard out of this crowd. But I think you ought to hear what they had to say. And I think it would actually show you the way that America's shifting in the way that they vote, in the way that they pay attention to the political parties. I don't know why you would call this moron. I mean, and if he isn't, I would love to see a time that he isn't. Everything I've watched, which isn't much, I probably watched about 5 or 6 of his shows, but all 5 or 6 of his episodes that I've watched of him, he comes across about having the intelligence of, well, a gnat. So let's see what this, let me show you what this Muslim caller had to say to him.
Final call of the day. Calling from a 614 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sam, is this me?
Yes, it is you. Who's this and where are you calling
yeah. This is Mohammed from Ohio.
Mohammed from Ohio. What's on your mind?
Yeah, called about maybe 4 years ago when Joe Biden won. Was asking about George Bush. A lot has happened since.
Yes.
But, and one quick thing. I'm assuming that this is kind of how it felt in 2004 after Bush won. But that's beside the point. I've been trying to call in for a long time because I wanted to talk about the Arab vote.
Okay.
Especially for the Democratic Party, because it's, as you can tell, it's kind of not pretty. For a long time, like I'm sure most people know, the Arab vote has always been, within the United States, has been a pretty solidly for the Democrats.
Right.
But they are kind of unique in that they're kind of like a single issue vote, in that they're actually not majority, but a very large portion of the Arab vote is actually very, very conservative in all kinds of ways. So the one thing that bound the Arab vote together was the Iraq War. And so it really can't be stressed how much Joe Biden went to war on that single issue. And I'm not exactly certain how exactly the Democrats can
recover,
do that damage. Yeah, it's barring, visibly punishing Joe Biden, I don't exactly know what can mend the divide at this point, because there could be a genuine de-alignment from the Democratic Party in the Arab vote.
Was it Joe Biden? Oh, and Joe Biden in terms of of his support for Israel's assault on Palestinians, or hailing the Cheneys.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden, technically isn't the one who hailed the Cheneys, but it's all kind of cross-wired. Yeah, no, hailing Cheney and supporting the wars are kind of seen as the exact same thing.
Right, they're consistent. They're consistent in a broader narrative of at the end of the day, we are in favor of killing Arab people.
It's like the way they see it is that the deal that was made with the Democratic Party was that Bush, fun fact, I just want to say, in 2000, a lot of Arabs, about I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but a pretty even number of Arabs actually voted for Bush, which, boy, that backfired. and the deal made with the Democratic Party was that, we stick with you because you are against the Iraq War and any subsequent wars like that. And with time, that's kind of slowly been chipped away. But this one may have just been the most visible destruction of that deal. And it's all kind of seen as like the Democratic Party has kind of more or less been lying about it the whole time. And the sentiment comes around that low key, the Democratic Party is just hardcore as pro-war a party as the Republican Party. So if it's a choice between the two, you can have a lot of Arabs who say, fine, if you have no choice, I'll vote for the one that at least has some of my social values. And so there's a lot to say about the Arab politics in the United States. It's quite diverse. I do think that a generational political divide is much more expressed amongst between young Arabs and old Arabs, but that's purely from anecdotal experience. But that's basically all I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Now look, I already knew that the Muslim culture is quite conservative, but I thought the reason they were voting primarily Democrat was because, well, they support the weakest and allow them to stay weak and they can conquer a country. It sounds like some of the Muslims that are coming here aren't wanting to do that. As a matter of fact, it sounds like they're wanting to actually have a country that they can be proud of, or at least live in, unlike where they came from. Most of the Muslims in this country that immigrated here, not the ones that are here and were born here, most of the Muslims that immigrate here, not the squad Muslims, but the folks that come from Africa and the Middle East, they want away from the violence. They want away from the stupidity. And it's starting to see that, we've got a problem in both parties where we can't stop them from starting wars every 3 seconds. But at least get some folks in office that are closer to your values. And if they're honestly trying to do that, that's a good thing. That means that they want to have an America that is worth living in. Now, look, I don't agree with everything that Trump does, but he's 10 times better. Hell, he's probably 100 times better than anything that Harris's puppeteer would have done to this country. And don't tell me she would have had any control. She's an idiot. No, she would not have had any control. She's a puppet. Trump is 100 times better than what we would have gotten from there. We're already seeing things that are 100 times better for this country. I don't know what else to say other than that. It's time that we start facing the facts that we need to fix the country before we continue on this path of stupidity. And it looks like the Muslim community is starting to realize they can't rely on the Democrats to create a sane and safe country. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.